Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, genders of all ages, welcome to episode 13 of Alive on One, the Transformers.cards podcast. I am your host, the God King, Lord Zero, and with me today I have Ozzy.
Hello everyone.
Today, we're talking about our recent Battalion Beta Bash tournament for Sixshot, some potential changes we might have coming for him, and we're going to announce Encounter 5. As always though, first we have Card of the Month. And this month, it's Flamewar, Veteran Decepticon from Wave 1.
Great card. Been a staple of Blue decks since Wave 1 and still played as recently as the last OI and the season before this one.
Yeah. It's a little funny that, last episode we had Night Racer, and this episode we had the card that Night Racer kind of replaced to some extent. Prior to Wave 5, Flamewar was your really only good filler character.
Yeah, and it was mainly the stats as well as their ability in bot mode to give all your characters top 1. So in blue decks, really good, but also she just has 10 health and 1 defense as well. So as a 5-star, that was probably the best stats you could get out of a 5-star at the time. RC was probably the best next one.
Yeah. Again, up until Night Racer and Wave 5.
Yeah.
I know Steven likes to use Flamewar still because he often goes bikes. I don't really see Flamewar as often, though, anymore outside of bikes. Yeah,
Steven's 5-wide decks was usually made up of what I call what you might have heard this term in other card games, hate bears, where it's they're a small character that hates on some other strategy. So it's Motor Master hates on you playing wide damage, and Flamewar just has tough 1, and Night Racer gives you another tough 1 if you have a secret action down, and Brawn, if you have a multicolored deck, has Pierce, and he would play decks like that all of last season and finish top of the table because of it.
Yeah, it's really impressive though just how Flamewar is one of those, so many Wave 1 characters, it goes to show just how powerful Wave 1 was, that it's still such a staple in the game.
Yeah, and she was such a sought after character as a promo too, because they released a gold foil promos for stores to give out at event in Wave 2, I think it was. And I think it was her private Red Alert, might have been in that same wave, and Lieutenant Bumblebee. And she was the most sought after one, just because she was a cheap character that did a lot for your team. Yeah.
Even though she was normally a common, people just wanted the good foil because no one was using that Bumblebee or the Red Alert.
Yeah, maybe Cars decks, but Cars decks had gone 4 wide by then, and Bumblebee hadn't really seen much play after that.
Yeah. We had the Battalion Beta Bash, Sixshot's first tournament. Overall, we're pretty happy where he's at. It's not to say he's perfect. As I keep saying, he's in a really good spot, but we can still do better.
Yeah, he was very strong in that event. There was 5 Sixshot decks out of 12 players, and 3 of them finished in the top 4, which seems like it's really overpowered, but a lot of the results weren't totally in his favor. The third place deck had beaten the first place shot deck earlier in the Swiss rounds, and the 5th place deck actually took games off it as well.
And we didn't have some of our more dominant decks. There was no 6-wide, no double primes, no Sky Shadow, but overall we're pretty happy.
Yeah, there also wasn't any, there was Mr. X, he played orange-black deck, but it wasn't playing Heat of Battle orange-black, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah. Moving through the decks, in 12th place, we had Justin, his first time in one of our tournaments. Love to see that. He played Predaking, and he is, I gotta give this guy credit, he really wants Predaking to work.
Yeah, it was great playing with Justin, because from round 1, he realized that his deck was outclassed pretty much in this tournament, but he was iterating on his deck, and would say after each match from then on, he was like, would you mind playing another match with my updated version? And he would say this with all his opponents. So even though he finished 12th, but he was still trying to make that deck better just from what he learned in the tournament, and that's great to see.
I didn't realize he was doing that. That is awesome. Yeah, I saw the discussions in the server, because I knew he was working on the deck publicly, but I didn't know he was playing games with it afterward. That's super cool. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I played in round 4, I think it was. I think I beat him 2-1. And then I beat him again afterwards with his new version of his deck, but it was so close. Yeah, he'd actually changed a lot of things, put in more blue icons, took out some other things that weren't working in the tournament. And yeah, it was great to see.
Especially because, like, I know I like Scorponok a lot. There's a good chance I like Predaking as a character even more. He is probably my all-time favorite Transformer design, so I love to see someone just working on him.
Yeah, Wheeljank was going to bring his Predacon deck to the EI when he went, and at the last minute he changed the bugs, but he was pretty proud of his Predacon deck. I can't even think how many weapons it had in it. It was like 30-something weapons in that deck. And like he would assemble Predaking, and he has a deck kind of building archetype that he likes to do, like how high is the ceiling and how close can I get to it? So I remember getting hit by like 40 sometimes when he was testing. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, it's great to see people trying out old decks and trying to make them better with the new cards that we have since Wave 5.
Absolutely. Then in 11th place, we had you. You're playing Megatron, right?
Yeah, I was playing Megatron, Laserbeak, and Sights. Laserbeak from Wave 10 and the Strat for Megatron from Wave 10. This is a deck Frank tested with me back in the days of Trop. And yeah, thanks to Frank for giving me this idea. But yeah, his idea was to give Megatron focus, and then Megatron's strat, when you flip a weapon, he may play it. So the idea was to focus into better weapons and stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, I know you and I have had a lot of talk, personally, that we both think focus is a keyword that's been slept on for years.
Yeah, I do. So against, I think it was Hawk in my last round, Megatron had Raider Sights on him and Laserbeak in bot mode, and a Hypersonic Concussion Blaster, which is the shot weapon, and he had Focus 4 as he attacked. So my deck has a lot of weapons, like, I can't remember how many weapons it's got, but it was like 20 odd weapons in it. So it was like focusing 4 into the best weapon for that situation every time he attacked.
22 weapons specifically.
Yeah. And so it was also, I played this deck with all this focus because I wanted to see if people would flip to bot mode to stop me using focus with Sixshot, and no one did.
Huh. That's interesting. It's kind of like we were just saying, how just people don't take focus seriously.
Yeah. The other thing I used the Hypersonic Concussion Blaster for, it was its plan ability. So if I had a good weapon in hand, I could attack, plan that on top, and then Megatron would see it and play it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
Then 10th place, we had Juniper, another new person in our tournaments.
Yes.
Playing Firecons, and ooh, love to see some Firecons.
Yeah. I played Firecons, I think it was 2 events ago, and finished top 4 with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see it again. I lost to it in round 1, which was kind of funny. Yeah, it was great to see them, and great to see another player turn up.
Yeah, the fact that we had 2 new players in this event is, I've been saying it for a while, like, a lot of people were excited just to even see Sixshot, so brought some people out.
Yeah.
And then in 9th place was our first Sixshot deck, played by Hawk. He went 2 wide with Exhaust.
That was really interesting to see.
Yeah, because he had brutal conditioning. I went against him with my broken Scorponok. Not broken in the good way, broken in the dumb way. I think I went 2-0 against him, and it was
I played him in round... Yeah, I played him in round 5, I think it was. And I think I had to win that match to get to the top 8, and he had to win well to get to the top 8 kind of thing. So we had a lot right. I beat him in round game 1, and then game 2 and 3 he got all his car on taps, and I beat him. Exhaust was kind of good because with Sixshot attacking and then untapping, Exhaust could just sit there putting brutal conditioning on himself before he went in. So it was kind of an interesting strategy.
Yeah. And after that, we had Mr. X going 5 wide with Impactor.
Yes.
Like mainly just orange black.
Yep.
Did you ever see him by chance go to a sideboard character of Megatron Ratchet?
No, but I heard that he did in one game. I don't know who against. Yeah. It was interesting to watch that deck because in the top 8, he came up against the Weaver, who finished Swiss on top, and Mr. X must have finished 8th in that regard. And he took the first game off the Weaver just with Sunrunner and Battle Patrol just pinging like death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing.
And then in 7th place, we had me. I did play Scorponok, and I completely grabbed the wrong deck when we started. I accidentally grabbed our deck from when we had the new old school, for the new, whatever the term it was called, was wave 6 or 10. So I didn't have any wave 1 through 5 cards.
Yeah. I remember watching your first game and you're looking for your shoulder holsters and then you realize.
Absolutely was. Yeah, I was looking for my shoulder holsters. I was also wondering, like, where's my bashing shield?
Yeah.
So I did okay. We'll get into it probably a bit more later, but I think Titans are a pretty strong counter to Sixshot.
Yeah. Especially a car-based Sixshot. Like, if you're one wide, they're not untapping with their car cards.
Yeah, exactly. Their untaps don't matter. And because even with my dumb missing 1 through 5, I don't even have a grenade launcher deck. I still made top 8. And the spot I played, who did I play in the top 8? It was Evil Jim. I played Evil Jim against it.
Yep.
And that was still, like, especially our first game was really close. Titans are definitely a good counter to Car's Sixshot.
And Titans, I used to play Metroplex a lot in waves 1 to 5, and they were very good against cars because, as I said, like, so if you go first as a Metroplex player and you hit like Wheeljack as hard as you can, and then straight wide into you, and then you untap, and then you can just, if you can keep triggering Metroplex, they will never untap with a car the rest of the game.
Yeah. And then after that, in 6th place, we had Wheeljank playing one tall Sixshot, that was a bit of a trip to see.
Yeah. He said, well, he's a one-bot army, so let's make it a one-bot army.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I faced
he's he's a bit disappointed that he didn't have more and more weapons in his deck. But yeah, he said he had fun. So
I faced him in round 5, and he still beat me 2-1, but still, like, they were close games. But he did win with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fun. I didn't see that matchup, but yeah, it would have been fun, like one wide Sixshot versus one wide Scorponok.
I think if memory serves, I won the 1v1, and then games 2 and 3, he brought in his Acid Storm from sideboard.
Ah, okay, yeah. That's very on theme, actually, with the Headmaster's cartoon. Yeah.
In 5th place, then, is Darth Storm with Jetfire and Ultra Magnus.
Yes.
And good number of stars, too.
Yeah.
3
Heroic
strats.
Spotlight and and the Ultra Magnus armor. And
I don't know.
Yeah, I played against his deck and it was very, very good. And also, like, when I played against him, like he said, like he lost round 1, I think it was, to Evil Gem. And he lost 2-1. So he took a game off Evil Gem. But he said, like, he was playing on an Octagon and Evil Gem did the soft reset between games 2 and 3, and he forgot to side back in his sideboard cards for that. And he was saying to me, like, he doesn't know if he would have won that match, but without the sideboard cards he sided in, like Hollow Matter Projector and Noble's Blaster, he might have. So yeah, he was saying that, like, he was pretty happy with his deck and the way it against Sixshot. So yeah, and his results showed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Then in 4th place was the Weaver with Sixshot and Chasm, or rather Crash Bash with Chasm. So kind of a 2-wide, kind of 3-wide.
Yeah, that was a very scary deck because he would flip the Sixshot to gun mode, give Crash Bash +2 attack. He already had 6 with Chasm, and if he didn't flip it too many oranges, he had +2.
He had no oranges,
and then
so he wasn't going to.
Yeah. and another +2 from the Sixshot. So it was basically swing for 10, turn 1.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
my non-Sixshot character.
Yeah. I played him round 3, and
Yes.
he rocked me. I remember, I could not get any armors on myself to save my life, literally.
Yeah.
Then, in third place was Jin, playing Blaster with
He
Orange
contacted
Blaster.
me about using my Blaster deck from last event. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even notice his title.
And yeah, this was
Ozzy.
Yeah, this was my deck I played last event, and I got third as well. So this was a strong deck, and it showed it. Like, it finished third again against all the Sixshot decks. Actually beat the one that came first in Swiss, but didn't beat it in the semifinals.
Yeah, exactly. That's still very impressive.
Yeah.
And then second place is Sixshot, Night Racer, and Crasher, played by Steven.
Yes. It's interesting that it's just Sixshot too. There's none of the Sixshot cards in it.
Yeah. He is, I believe, the only Sixshot player to use none of the Sixshot cards.
Will Jank as well, because he's playing the one white orange.
Okay, he didn't either. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, a typical Steve deck, mix of icons, just playing the best cards rather than the best icons.
And winning the event was Evil Jim, again with Sixshot, Night Racer, and Crasher, but a very different deck comparatively. Mostly orange.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch this in action, but yeah, I heard good things about it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I too heard really good things about it. And that's the tournament results. With the tournament over, the next step is we're going to send out surveys to everyone asking kind of what they thought about Sixshot, whether it was them playing Sixshot or whether they went against Sixshot. And it's not just, do you think he's balances? Do you think he was fun? What modes did you enjoy? Were you able to remember all his modes and abilities? Questions like that. That survey should hopefully go out to all the tournament players within a day or two. Internally, our team has thoughts on where things can go, but we won't lock into any ideas until the surveys are done and filled out, because that will really help kind of dictate where we go with him.
Yeah.
That said,
I think one of the most interesting things about the Sixshot decks is the actual what you do with the other 10 stars. So the top decks of this tournament were Sixshot, Night Racer, and Crasher.
Yeah.
And the fourth place deck, as we talked about earlier, was Crash Bash Chasm. The 10-star slot, you can fit a lot of good characters in those 10 stars.
That's very true. Yeah. And that's also kind of where some of the internal debates are going. How much of the wins was Sixshot and how much of it was who Sixshot just had with him.
Yeah, because the top 2 decks is Sixshot with 19 health, but it's also 21 health of other characters.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we have some ideas of what we may or may not change. I think one of the most likely maneuvers we'll do is to switch Wolf and Tank mode abilities. The main reason is when Sixshot is defending, having Tank mode be the best period defense mode for everything, because it scraps and has the highest defense, feels like a lot. It shouldn't be as easy of a decision.
Yeah. And also the Wolf mode not get used much. No. I saw it be used a couple of times though, which was good to see. I think the Weaver used it against Mr. X because he had the patrol that had stealth, and he would just flip to Wolf mode, give Crash, turn off the stealth, and then Crash Bash would go straight into the leader of that team. So that was quite good to see it being used, but that's the only time I ever saw it get used.
Yeah, I never saw it used for the Pierce. I only saw it used for the anti-stealth. And I know of at least one person on the team who calls the anti-stealth a bad experience to play against. It makes the game not fun.
Yeah. I think it was the Blaster player. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that too. One of the other things we're discussing, and this is probably one of the more controversial ones on the team, is whether or not car mode should continue to be a car or become a truck. And it really is solely because of Start Your Engines.
And Turbo Boosters to a lesser extent, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. And Turbo Boosters. because of untapped.
I was talking to Wheeljank about this. So this is the biggest car we've ever had.
Yeah.
Being 15 stars, 9 health. And that maybe, like, if it was a 10-star car, like, you know, the Bumblebees, like, you've got a chance of one-shotting it if you're playing a really aggressive deck. But if you're one-shotting a 19 health character that's flipped to tank mode on defense is almost impossible.
Yeah. So if he became a truck, well, first is the lore argument. There's good arguments where he could be considered a truck, in that his Wikipedia page and everything refers to him as an armored car. However, so is Springer. Yeah. And Springer has truck mode in some modes. Like, there is a history of WotC considering armored car to be a truck.
Yes.
Think more like military vehicle as opposed to car.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's still the argument of, was that the problem? Is that why Sixshot won? Both Evil Jim and Stephen Moss, the two top players who use Sixshot and Start Your Engines, both said their other characters didn't matter that the other characters were car, it only mattered because of their health. That they only used Start Your Engines on Sixshot. So it's a back and forth on the team. Then we're not really looking at changing a spaceship mode at all. That's fine. When we do go to swap Wolf and Tank, we would probably increase the Pierce on Tank from either 3 to 4 instead of just 2. And then...
Yeah, it would depend on what you need to do to get that Pierce ability. If you need to scrap a card or something.
Yeah. And then one of the other more contentious modes was gun mode. We had members on our team suggesting that you should have to scrap a card for the +2. There was debate going back and forth on whether or not gun mode should be able to give +2 to others. A lot of people seem to imagine Sixshot and compare him to Megatron, where you hold him. But Sixshot gun is really more like Shockwave, in that he's just a giant floating cannon.
Yeah. There was one scene in the G1 cartoon, which was just an ad for Sixshot for a minute, from what I remember, where Cyclonus had him as a gun. But that's the only ever time I've seen him being held as a gun.
Yeah, so there is a likely possibility that we might switch it so that he can only give the +2 attack to himself. And then bot mode would probably be the biggest change from what we're considering.
As I said earlier, like I played a deck that a bot mode would turn off in a big way, like turning off my focus and my plan, and no one ever considered that. And I think people forgot that it was even there, a lot of that text.
Yeah. So one of the things we're trying to do is simplify his modes. So each mode has just one ability that it gives, and that's it. None of those abilities are really worth that one mode that he has. So what we're looking at is letting Sixshot, when he flips to bot mode, play a card off the top of your deck.
If you think of something like Field Communicator, where you scrap the top card, you may play it.
Yeah, exactly.
Something similar to that, yeah.
And likewise, in the swap between Wolf and Tank, the turning off stealth would just be gone.
Yeah, it was thematic, but people didn't use Wolf mode at all because that was the only thing it really added to the game.
Yeah, and then it's such a bad feeling then too for the stealth player that, well, I'm against Sixshot, I just don't have stealth anymore at all.
Yeah, there's an argument to maybe just confining it to Sixshot, so that you flip to that mode, you turn off stealth, but only Sixshot can turn off the stealth.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that argument too.
Yes, it might be better to just remove it altogether.
Then the overlying discussion point we've been having is some of his modes, the scrap ability, arguably the +2 ability, and I'm arguing if we give him the play from the top of your deck ability, those are too powerful to simply be one of his flips, that there should be a cost. But then it's also weird to give only half his modes a cost.
Yeah.
I've been really pushing for a uniformity in his modes of costs and triggers, also only the ability changes, and keep it simple. So one thing we're looking at is, and Wheeljank suggested this, and I think it solves a lot of our problems with them. At the end of battle, you'd have to scrap a card from your hand to flip. and in exchange, that would let us buff some of his abilities that are on the lower end, like increasing the Pierce and giving bot mode that play from the top of your deck.
I'm not sure about that, because like he is 15 stars. So if you can compare him to someone like Galaxy Prime, like his is conditional. Like you flip, orange, blue, you can play an upgrade after battle. And his flip ability is if the top card is your library is an action, you can play it. But he doesn't have to scrap a card to do any of those things. But he doesn't also have 6 modes. So yeah, it's a hard balance.
Yeah. And by putting the scrap cost on the bonus after battle flip, it lets him have all his abilities available to him during his turn without having to pay the scrap cost. So you're effectively paying to flip, which feels kind of on brand for Sixshot. We'd even talked briefly about like, maybe he flips too much, but that's also the point, right? Like he's supposed to flip too much.
He feels very thematic when you're playing against him, and he's flipping this mode to this mode to this mode. Yeah.
But generally speaking, we're happy with where he's at, which is also why we're reluctant to make any big changes, because balance-wise, he's pretty good. There's just a couple small nitpicks of like, this isn't fun to use, or this isn't fun to go against.
Or also, this was never used.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, his battle cards, I think the blaster might be changing a little bit as well going forward. But I think the other two seem to be in a good spot.
Yeah, and the change to the blaster was really coming back to in changing his bot mode.
Yeah.
Every Sixshot toy has come with his 2 guns, and a lot of his art depicts him dual-wielding 2 guns. So we wanted to keep that as a possibility for him to do without needing something like shoulder holster. So we're going to move his dual-wield ability from him onto the gun itself. And then instead of focus or plan, which kind of contradict each other and their timing is different, we switched it to actually use the full description of those abilities. So he doesn't plan, but you can put a card on top of your deck.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because you have both guns, and one you want to plan with one and focus with the other. They kind of, it's like, well, I know what that is now because I planned it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's about it for Sixshot. In our next encounter, which will be Encounter 5, the final encounter of the season, our current plan is to allow Sixshot to be played in it. Obviously, things can change. We might find something big and drastic between now and then, but that is the plan. So with this being the last encounter of the season, this is also the last chance to get some points to be invited to our end-of-season Omega Invitational. As a reminder, or for those who don't know, you get 3 points for playing in the event at all, another point for making top 4, and then yet another point if you place first, meaning if you win the whole event, you'll get 5 points. And then the 10 players with the most points will get invited to the Omega Invitational. Right now, who's close between getting in and out? Black Knight could potentially. Yeah. There's a lot. Like, Gian could potentially tie, but probably it'll come down to if Mr. X plays or not.
So Jihan's outside the top 10, but like if he does well and gets top 8, he might squeeze in.
Yeah, if he gets top 8 and Mr. X doesn't play, is what that would require.
Yeah.
Which is obviously very possible. Like, the only people guaranteed, pretty much, like, even if they didn't play this event, would be myself, you, Hawkhammer, Stephen Moss, Will Jank, and Naga.
Yeah. There's a logjam in the top 6.
Yeah.
One person's on 17 and the other rest are on 16.
Yes. Anyone below 12, or 12 and below, like, there's a chance, if they don't play at least, they won't make it.
Yeah.
If they play, they're guaranteed, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sign-ups for this event will be open the moment you hear this. They're open right now. The tournament will start on a date that I wrote down and I don't have in front of me.
March the 12th.
Yes, thank you. Sign-ups are open now and the tournament will start March 12th. As a reminder, this is a webcam event. We do allow not just home printing. If you want to play Sixshot in this, assuming he's allowed, and you just want to print out a black and white copy, we're fine with that, as long as we can tell what it is.
Yeah, when you're playing a webcam game, most people have access to like the .cards database, so that they can, like, if they can't quite read what your black and white printing says, then they have access to the actual card.
All we ask is that you put some effort. A note card that says Sixshot on it isn't quite enough.
Yeah.
But short of that, like just any kind of printed card, even a piece of paper that's black and white, we're fine with. As a last final note, I found out today that I will be at TFCon. I'm just going for one day on Saturday, March 12th. I'll be there with some friends and my wife, but I'll also have some Broadside and Scorponok Titan cards with me to give away. So if you see me, come say hi, get a Titan card. And that'll do it for this episode. Ozzy, thank you for coming by, talking Sixshot with me.
No worries. Anytime.
Yeah. If you'd like to leave us a comment, you can do so at the bottom of this video or anonymously at Transformers.cards /AliveOn1. All right, until next time, toodles.
Bye.